What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Top of the morning, Monday the 16th, 2020. Yeah, and it's going down. We got an interesting topic. This is Message from the Street, and it's just a point of view. Today's topic is God is a scientist. And I am speaking to those that have a reasoning mind that accept the God concept. If you don't believe in God, this is not for you, but you're still welcome to tune in and make any type of assessments that you would like. I'm not going to be offended. But God as a scientist, and this is the topic, and it's based on a lot of people think that science and spirituality or religious systems are separate. And I'm telling you that is just foolishness, on account that when you understand what you know, that everything is in the creation of the creator. So how can scientists be on the outside of the creator? Let's say that doesn't make any sense. And the things that man are discovering are not anything new to the Most High. So we have these guys in these white suits and so forth and so on, or these cloakings or these clothing. And when we think of scientists, we think of persons as such. But let me tell you that each and one of us are also scientists. We are on an expedition to the earth, and we're here to explore, to experience this experience and do scientific tests on the way. Most of these tests are mental. A lot of them come without physical experiences. Your scientific tests, if you put your hand in a fire, you're going to get burned. You stick something in the electrical socket, you're going to get electrocuted. Saying that and moving forward is that, yes, God is a scientist, the greatest scientist of all scientists. Now, some of the things that I may mention within the next 5 to 7 minutes, that's how long these segments usually, y'all. Sometimes it can extend a little bit longer. Some people may not be able to wrap their minds around that. So I'm going to go straight into this, and it's like that. First of all, we are spiritual beings, energy beings, having a human experience. So what does that mean? That actually means that we are energy or spirit inside of a host, which is this body. This body, believe it or not, is actually some type of spacesuit. And when I'm saying spacesuit, the only way that the spirit being can operate on this plane is through this vessel that we call the body. So once the spirit or the energy is infused in the body, it can actually touch, taste, and do things that the energy being may not be able to do. So this is all science. Some of the teachers teach that we are actually having what is called a holographic experience. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Holographic. Holographic means that we are actually being projected to this room from another dimension. I know that sounds crazy, but just do some research and just think about it. Just think about it. Just don't say, you know what, that don't make no sense. And maybe it don't make no sense. But everything is for everybody, but everybody can't wrap their minds around it. Again, spiritual beings having a human experience. And what is going on in this human experience, we are learning, we are cultivating, we are doing things where as though at sometimes in our life, we get stuck because we have gone against the scientific principle. Point and blank, a person that has a particular type of vice that actually gets that person stagnated, and then had that person to become debased in their experience. Meaning that within their experience themselves, we were created to involve and evolve and move forward in the scientific development of ourselves. But once a person gets these particular vices, a lot of times it has something to do with our thought process, our inability to deal with reality. So once they become stuck, complacent, trapped, lost in these experiences, dealing with these different type of vices, and even these sometimes these mental conditions, what happen is that time moves on in a sense, or the development or the evolving of the culture and the society around us moves on, and these particular people become fixated in a particular paradigm of their thought process, and they can't get out because of addiction. Addiction is a scientific experiment. So this experiment has proven that the mind, once it become addicted, it is in prison, and also is a lot of times unable to break the chains and the fetters that keep the mind confined. Yet the mind also is the jailer, the warden, the prisoner, but have the key, because we are the prison guard as well of our minds. So once the mind has come to the point and say, you know what, I'm not doing that no more. I got to stop this. This experiment has gone rogue and is not beneficial in this to my advancement. Then once a person get their mind together, they can move forward. But this is all a reflection of the possibilities of man through a scientific experiment, if you will. You know, so many people on the planet having different experiences because of their scientific experiment on themselves. And we're getting this experience of this scientific experiment is a reflection of what the creator has allowed us to experience. Before I go, I'm going to give you a scenario about the science of the creator and the mind. Now, if you look outside, we got all types of things. Well, you can just probably look in your hand, because most of y'all have a cell phone in your hand or close by. But just think about the cell phone, the car, the technology. Now, man will convince you and tell you that man has created these things. I say nay. These things have always existed in the mind of the Most High, on what they call the in the Akasha realm. And what happened is that man, as man began to develop and evolve through the course of man's experience, man's mind expands, and then man is able to connect in the Akasha realm, some will say into the mind or the realm of the Most High, and able to pull things over that are actually energy. The cell phone that we use every day, it was actually energy that always existed, but it had a time release. And once the time came for it to be released, someone tapped into it or the Akasha realm and brung it over, just like the cars, the airplanes, the buildings that we see, the money that we use. These things always existed in the mind of the Most High, on account that the Most High is the greatest scientist, chess player that we've never seen, because we're dealing with energy, we're dealing with spirit, and we are on this realm of creation by the great scientist God. Some call the creator by various names, so forth and so on, but I'm going to use the terminology God, which actually is a Masonic word that means Gamma, Oz, the Boss, which actually means beauty, strength, and wisdom. Those are actually attributes and not a name, but that's another topic. But going forward, so once we are able to pull these things over, and these things become useful for us in helping humanity to move forward, you know, the rocket ships, the Tesla car, electric cars, all these things have always existed since prehistoric man, but man had to go through the process to develop, to reach to the stage where as though the man's mind was able to be elevated and tap into that particular frequency and bring those things over. Also, before I go, I'm going to let you know, in the East, they have what they call this yugas, and they say that we are in the Kali Yuga. This is the age of destruction. It's something similar to, if you're familiar with the Bible, and Daniel had a dream, and he seen the statue had, it was gold, silver, bronze, iron, and the lower part of it was made of iron and clay, and they said the iron and clay didn't mix. But through these yugas, they 26,000 year cycles estimated. And what happens, there's a rise, and then there's a demise of society. And it happens in all these three stages of the yugas, excuse me, in the stages of the yugas. So within every yuga is a rise, and then there's a descent in the consciousness or the activities of humanity. I say that to say is that the things that we are experiencing now, man is so arrogant. We say, well, you know, we did this and we did that, but we don't know what happened in those 26,000 years that was in those former yugas. Those yugas are also associated with the zodiacs, as far as not the sun, but the earth going through the different houses. You know, it takes a certain amount of time to go through these houses. Some people say 12,000 years, but nobody knows exactly. But I am over the time limit by a few minutes when I try to keep the videos in. But remember this, ladies and gentlemen, if someone tries to tell you that God and science are two different things, don't believe them, on account that they really don't understand, but they understand what they're saying, but they don't understand what they're saying, because it's impossible for science to be on the outside of God. Some of the teachers teach that all is all and all is in the all. Wrap your mind around that, and you may be able to comprehend that God, as we are able to perceive, is a scientist, and that scientist's mind is working through humanity to move us on to higher levels and planes. The science mind and the spirit mind in the old ways of operation was one mind, not a two-parted mind, whereas though the Western society has separated it into all these categories. And why did they do that? Because they want to steal the acknowledgement and say that they had created these different types of things. They want to take credit for it. That's what I was looking for. They want to take credit for it. So that's why they say, you know what, this is this and this and this. And you look at it, a lot of things that we identify today, they already have been identified in former times, but they just gave it new names, just like quantum physics and quantum mechanics. We think that that's new, but actually it's not. Ladies and gentlemen, another message from the streets. Remember, this was just the point of view. I bring you this message in love. I leave you this message in peace. Always remember, live your life on purpose, with purpose. Why? Because it's all purpose. Praise him, but raise him.